Hello all, welcome back to another video and welcome to Sammy G's World of Cinema. Today on the channel, I wanted to do something a little bit different here, and I feel like I've done kind of, like the similar kind of content recently, so I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different. And don't get us wrong, guys, I am still obviously really enjoying what I'm doing, whether that's the Unwatched Shelf series or DVD or Blu-ray haul videos, the monthly watches, you name it. But I wanted to do something I haven't done for a little while, and that's kind of like spotlighting some movie recommendations, 5 music related film recommendations. However, one of these is like a documentary as well, and yeah, guys, definitely all of these 5 films I'm going to talk about, I definitely would recommend to anyone. And I think the reason why I wanted to do this video as well, guys, because as much as I love movies, don't get us wrong, I absolutely love movies, I do absolutely love music as well. And I thought it'd be a great way to kind of do something else, another video, doing something movie related but music related as well. For film recommendations that are music related but a documentary as well. So grab yourself a cuppa, the weekend is here, let's roll the credits and we'll get on with it, shall we? Come on, bring on the show, let's go. Right, so the first music related film I wanted to spotlight on the channel is a biopic, and a biopic that for me last year was one of the biggest surprises of the year, because sometimes biopics, when they work, but when they don't work, it kind of becomes a little bit sort of like sour and a little bit deflating when a biopic can come across as disappointing. But this, however, guys, one of the biggest surprises I've got to say of last year. And I must admit, when I was hearing really good word of mouth, now I was going to check out this biopic regardless, because I am such a big Bob Dylan fan. I've seen Bob Dylan live at Nottingham Arena in 2017, and yeah, I have just loved it. I have been a big fan of Bob Dylan for probably getting on 13 year now. I have been such a big Dylan fan, and of course the biopic is A Complete Unknown with Timothée Chalamet. Yeah, I think when this got announced, and I think when Timothée Chalamet was like, I was thinking, oh, is he gonna pull this off? I'm not too sure. But my goodness, guys, I was so surprised how much I really enjoyed this. I thought the way the film was just shot, and the cinematography, the lighting, the sound as well, the kind of like the renditions as well of like Dylan's, original folk material, I thought was excelled here and done really well. And Timothée Chalamet as a young Bob Dylan, I thought he looked the part and he did such a good job. It was just a great kind of like sort of biopic of early Bob Dylan coming onto the scene in the Greenwich Village and folk scene in the early 60s in New York. And yeah, I just think this is a fascinating watch, guys. Like a really good kind of look on Bob Dylan as well, like during the 60s in his, like in his back catalogue, and just when you see him in the studio, or where you see him kind of go from playing acoustic to electric guitar when he's working on, like the demos as well. It's just such a fascinating watch. And obviously you've got a great supporting cast with Edward Norton, etc. as well. The lass who plays Joan Baez did a really good job as well. I think Woody Guthrie and Johnny Cash is in there as well. It's just a brilliant movie. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching this again. I'm hoping we can get like a spiritual sequel following Dylan's kind of like 70s career as well, like his sort of like career in the 70s, because Bob Dylan at the peak of his powers was the 60s and 70s in my opinion. So I think that would just make a great spiritual sequel. And Timothy Chalamet, by all accounts, can definitely portray Bob Dylan if it was to be that spiritual sequel set in the 70s, by all means. Because yeah, I don't know if this is a thing that's gonna happen, because I know this was originally based off a book, but I would love to see a follow-up following Bob Dylan in the 70s, because I think that would just be such a great viewing. But yeah, this is my favourite Bob Dylan album, bringing it all back home. This is a 10 out of 10 album for me, and I absolutely love this. Yeah, you've got just amazing tracks on here, like Mr. Tambourine Man, It's All Over Now, Baby Blue, which is probably one of my favourite Dylan songs, Gates of Eden, Subterranean Homesick Blues, and She Belongs to Me, On the Road Again. This is just a flawless album from Dylan here, and Dylan is just done some absolutely like wonderful studio albums, and this to me is probably my favorite of his discography there. So yeah, I thought I would just show, I would love to get an original copy of this, because this is like a reissue. But yeah, this is my favorite Dylan album whilst we were just on the subject there. But yeah, so that would be a biopic recommendation. And yeah, guys, even if you're not a big Bob Dylan fan, I would still absolutely would recommend checking this one out. And I thought it was really well directed by James Mangold there. So that is a complete unknown. Next up, I have gone for, I would say, a little bit of an indie gem. Now, this has had a Blu-ray release, but to my knowledge, only like in the US, but it would be great to see this film get like a Blu-ray release over here in the UK at some point. Now, I think I did watch this on streaming one time, and yeah, this is such a cool like indie music-based drama, this one, and it's with Nick Offerman, and that is Hearts Beat Loud. So yeah, I think this is just a sweet, light-hearted like drama, this one, starring Nick Offerman. The main girl who plays his daughter in this does a fantastic job in this film as well. And yeah, this is just a beautiful little like wholesome sort of like, it's almost like a warm hug sort of movie, really. It's just one of them. And yeah, this is about a guy, basically Nick Offerman's character, I think he might be called Frank, and he's basically under pressure. I think he's going out of business, and he's kind of like he's a little bit overwhelmed, and he's kind of worried about how things are going to be for like his business and his own record store, because he is this record store owner. His daughter is about to like set way to like college, but then you find his daughter is there to kind of accompany her father in this kind of stressful time. So they decide to actually form their own like music duo. Like I think it could be like an indie alternative duo. I think that's the style of music they've gone for. Maybe is that. And yeah, so they basically do like their own like session in this like, I think in this garage or this studio, I didn't know, I think it might have been. And then basically the track and song that they've actually created, and it was their own like original material, and they upload it and it goes viral through the internet, and it is such a breakthrough. So when this kind of like comes to light, they decide to kind of like continue writing songs and as their own like father and daughter music duo. And yeah, I just think this is such a sweet warm hug sort of movie. Yeah, just great chemistry between Nick Offerman and the actress who plays his daughter. They just do really well as like the main two leads. But I love the kind of the setting with the record store. If there's anything else I love in a movie as well, it's actually the setting with a record store. I'm not going to talk about this film today in full, guys, but I have to give a quick mention obviously to High Fidelity, because High Fidelity is one of them movies that kind of really captures the record store setting the best, in my opinion. So I am a sucker for a film that takes place in like a record store. I haven't seen it for years, but Empire Records is one that I'm most definitely up for revisiting, because I haven't seen it for so long. But yeah, this is a really cool little like indie sort of like family driven music based related drama, this one, and I think is massively underrated as well. So that's the film Hearts Beat Loud. Sticking actually with films that take place in a record store, and you could say this is like another biopic and about Terry Hewley. This is kind of set in like the late 1970s in the Belfast music scene, and Belfast Ireland has just got such an incredible like music scene as well. And yeah, it like Ireland, the country, have got a great music scene as well. And this, for someone that didn't know too much about that kind of the backstory of this record store, or Terry Hewley, who's this DJ who opens up his own record store, this was a really good like viewing, and that is the film Good Vibrations. This is again a really good underrated music based drama, this one. And I think the main guy, Richard Dormer, does such a good job as Terry Hewley, who basically opens up his own record shop, Good Vibrations, in the late 1970s, and he has his own like small like music independent label as well. And I just really enjoyed this. And also you've got like, again, it kind of opens the doors to like a couple like Irish bands as well, like the Outcasts and the Undertones. And this is kind of like the founding label of those like bands that were, you know, like really kind of joining the music scene in the late 70s. And yeah, this is just really good side cast as well, with Jodie Whittaker and Liam Cunningham. And yeah, I just really have a good time with this one. Like, good kind of witty banter in there as well. But it's just, again, for someone that didn't really know too much about Terry Hewley going into this movie, this was a really interesting watch. So yeah, I think if you're really into like music that is based in Ireland and has come from the Irish music scene, this is definitely well worth your time. And actually, guys, I've got to say, whilst we're on that subject, I would love to see possibly a director or someone to have an attempt at a Van Morrison sort of like biopic. I think that would be fantastic, but possibly a U2 biopic as well would be really good. Good soundtrack as well. And yeah, great set of characters with this one. So that is Good Vibrations. And the second to last one, guys, and we're going to talk about, and this is actually we're going to talk about a documentary here, and I had to spotlight this because this has got to be one of the best documentaries I have ever seen in my life, and I absolutely loved this. So a little bit of a backstory with this. So it was around 2018 time. I remember I was familiar with the album English Settlement for a long time. Like, I remember my dad, he had it on vinyl, and yeah, like, I remember he had a vinyl copy of this, and yeah, and also I remember that the song mentioned making plans for Nigel, but other than that, I didn't really bother to delve into this band's discography. But then I remember people posting about this documentary on like Facebook and stuff, and it was getting such good word of mouth, this documentary was. But then I think the wonderful James Griffiths did a wonderful video on his top 10 Colin Moulding songs, and my goodness, that is an absolutely fantastic video as well that James did a few years ago now. And yeah, and then I remember, I think Ross Goodall was singing this band's praises as well. And then I checked out the documentary, XTC, This Is Pop, and I just fell in love with it, guys. I was like, wow, this is absolutely amazing. Like, just following the life and career of Andy Partridge and how he met Colin Moulding, and then they were like best friends for a long time, and then how Dave Gregory would join the band like when Drums and Wires, that album, came out. And then you had I think Barry Andrews as well, who I think was on the first two albums, and then he would go on to form in the band Shriekback, I think it was. And yeah, this is just such a fascinating watch, guys. Like, you look at Andy Partridge's love for like comics and art, and yeah, like he had his own like homemade like kind of show as well with his sketches, and then yeah, and I think his love for like the Beatles and stuff, and then how they kind of come together as their own like unit as the band. And yeah, XTC, what I will say, so the first album, White Music, it's a little bit off the wall. It's kind of got a bit of a wham bam sort of sound to it, and you know, it's very kind of artsy. But I think, again, as a debut album goes, this is still a very good way to kickstart their career. Go to their second album. I can't lie, guys, I'm not a big fan of that album. I think it's very kind of all over the shop with its production, and yeah, a lot of the songs on there just feel a bit all over the place, quite messy as well. But then Drums and Wires and onwards, and I pretty much love everything XTC have done from that album, Drums and Wires, to pretty much Apple Venus, Volume 2, I think it's Wasp Star. So pretty much near everything that band has delivered, I have love, and it's all thanks to this documentary, guys, that XTC and now one of my favourite bands ever since watching this documentary. And when I watched it, I was like, I've got to check out this band's music. I've got to buy as many albums and singles as I can on vinyl. And I just remember like falling in love with this band's music. They're just so versatile and varied in style, and I had the absolute honour as well for recommending this band to my wonderful buddy Dan. And Dan, I remember messaging me saying, Sam, you picked an absolute belter of a recommendation here. This is amazing stuff. And yeah, Dan, I like to think now, thanks to me, has become a massive fan of the band XTC as well. But this is my favourite album of theirs, Skylarking, which is going to be turning 40 this year, and this is an original press, and this is probably in my top 10 albums of all time, alongside Oranges and Lemons. But this is just absolutely amazing, guys, and this was produced by Todd Rundgren as well. And I think Todd Rundgren and Andy Partridge had a little bit, they didn't quite see eye to eye, from what I kind of following from the documentary and reading kind of a bit of info and that. So, but yeah, nice original copy of that one. So yeah, and this has got a very kind of Beach Boys Pet Sound sort of like similar vibe going on. This is kind of like XTC's take on like Pet Sounds as an album. So yeah, really, really good stuff, guys. And as I say, guys, like me, if you're not too familiar about the band XTC, I would highly recommend the documentary XTC This Is Pop. And you've just got great interviews in there as well with like you know, like Andy Partridge, Colin Moulding, Dave Gregory. You've got an interview with Miles Kin in there, who, funny enough, I am actually going to see in Newcastle a week on Tuesday in Newcastle, I want to say. And yeah, so, and also I think Johnny Marr makes an appearance in this documentary, and I think as well, one of the guys from Blondie, the band Blondie. So yeah, it's just such a fantastic watch, guys, and really interesting to learn about how XTC would go from being a live band to a studio only band as well there. So that is XTC This Is Pop. And the last film recommendation that is music based that I'm going to spotlight on this video. Now, this is a more well-known of those like recommendations, but I just had to give this a spotlight because I just absolutely love this film. And I think I first watched this film when I was really getting into music, like checking out a band's discography and going out and checking it out on CD and that, and it was just before I was really getting into my vinyl collecting as well. So I just watched this film at the perfect time, and it was probably maybe about March 2013, and that was around the time when I was really getting into a band or artist and their discography. And yeah, this film is just been love at first sight ever since. And I went to see this at Tyneside Cinema a couple of years ago and just absolutely falling in love with this film all over again after kind of, because I have seen this film a fair few times, but when watching it on the big screen as well, for something like this, it's something special. And in my opinion, Cameron Crowe's masterpiece, it's gotta be Almost Famous. Yeah, this is just an absolutely fantastic film, a great road trip movie, a great like sort of music band tour based movie, whatever you want to call it, and it is just absolutely brilliant. I just absolutely love the chemistry between Patrick Fugit, who plays William, the main lad in there, who's a journalist, and then Kate Hudson, who I believe won Best, I think, Supporting Actress at the Oscars that year, rightly so, for playing Penny Lynn, the main, like, lady in this film. And I love their chemistry in this film, but also just following this band who seem to get a little bit frowned upon, but then they start to kind of just clip their wings and just kind of like start to kind of maintain a bit more of an extensive following as the like kind of things progress. And you see that kind of from when they're kind of supporting Black Sabbath in the film, and the band is Stillwater. And yeah, it's just a lightning in a bottle moment when you see William, and he's absolutely praising to the helm this band Stillwater. He's like, I love what you're doing, I love what you're doing here. And you see him join this band's tour, you see him spending time away from home, and his mother, played brilliantly by Frances McDormand, and Zoe Deschanel's in this film as well. You've got Philip Seymour Hoffman, who plays a cool as Cole gets a DJ in there. He's just brilliant. And I love the whole side story with the Rolling Stone. It is just talking about this movie now, guys. I just want to go back and rewatch it all over again. But yeah, I just love the 70s aesthetic to this one as well, guys. Just so many like great mentions of other bands as well. I absolutely love the scene at the start where Zoe Deschanel, she's about to leave home and she passes her record collection to William, her brother, and when you see him just going through like her record collection and then he discovers Tommy by The Who for the first time, that is just a magic moment in that film. Fantastic film, great performances, and just a fascinating film, just following this band Stillwater, and again, the chemistry between each of the band members in this film as well. I think you've got the main guy, Russell, played by Billy Crudup in there as well, and he's who looks a bit like George Harrison in this film. Yeah, so really great stuff, great soundtrack as well, and just a brilliant music journey. So yeah, Almost Famous would get my 5th recommendation in this music related film recommendations video. So there you go, guys. I just thought I would do something a bit different here. I wanted to do another video just talking about a list of films and films that I would highly recommend if you're into like music based movies like myself. I mean, as I say, guys, I probably just love music as much as I do with movies, and it was good to do another like music related video here and kind of like to bring film into it as well. So yeah, guys, by the way, guys, if you have got any like music related film recommendations that you want to recommend in the comments, and let me know your thoughts on any of these films, I would love to know all of that good stuff in the comments down below there, and I'll be back for more content soon there. So thanks for watching, cheers for stopping by, and until next time, I'll see you for the next video. Bye bye, take care, guys, thank you so much.